Beartooth Highway, Billings' scenic gateway to Yellowstone National Park. If you're looking for a stretch of pavement that puts the high in the highway, look no further. The Beartooth Highway makes its way through Beartooth Mountain Range. This range not only home to all of Montana's 26 peaks over 12,000 feet, but here you'll also find Granite Peak, the highest elevation in Montana, rising to 12,799 feet above sea level. In 1936, 50 years after Civil War, General Philip Sheridan and his men made the first crossing through these precipitous, narrow passages. The Beartooth Highway opened along Sheridan's route. Designated a National Scenic Byway in 1989, the Beartooth has been blessed as America's most beautiful road by no less than the expert Charles Kuralt. You're headed into 69 miles of the most beautiful and scenic highway in North America. There are 25 small glaciers throughout the Beartooth Mountain Range, with Grasshopper Glacier being the most unique, for it is here tens of millions of grasshoppers have been found entombed in the ice, some for hundreds or perhaps thousands of years. You'll want to plan on the 69-mile drive taking at least 2 hours from Red Lodge to Cook City. And here's the kicker. Weather conditions only allow this scenic thoroughfare to stay open during the warmest 3 months of the year. Even then, snowstorms can occur in the middle of summer. And hold your hat, this place is known for its strong winds and severe thunderstorms. But hands down, the greatest drama is the scenery. The famous highway originates in Red Lodge, Montana, a little burg that got its start as a coal mining town shortly after Sheridan's visit. Red Lodge was a boom town during the late 1800s. The Great Depression took its toll here, both in the economy and to dozens of families when, as the mines began closing, a host of tragedies struck. In 1943, during World War II, a methane gas explosion at Smith Mine killed 74 miners. It was Montana's greatest mining disaster. The people of Red Lodge pay tribute to that day with a historic marker in town, a town that is today mining a very different type of gem, snow. For Red Lodge is at the receiving end of powerful Pacific-bred storms that has turned the town into a skier's delight. Here you find some of the finest restaurants and vibrant Main Street environments. Red Lodge has long been the haven for world-class skiers and outdoorsmen, truly iconic location among all the Rocky Mountain cities and towns. South of Red Lodge, the road quickly begins ascending the Beartooth Plateau. This is the land of glacier-carved cirques, high alpine lakes, and fragile tundra. A pull-out 20 miles from Red Lodge up a steep series of switchbacks is a great place to get a broad view of the plateau. To the north lay the Hell Roaring and the Silver Rud Plateaus, broad expanses rising between several forks of Rock Creek. To the south, if you keep a sharp eye out, you may spot mountain goats or bighorn sheep along the Line Creek Plateau. Crossing into Wyoming, you're now well above the timberline. Views are expansive, south across the canyons carved by the Clark's Fork and north into the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness. In the wilderness, a narrow pyramidal spire is profiled against the sky. This is Beartooth, from which these mountains take their name. The Crow Indian name for it is Na-Pet-Se. Beartooth Pass is a series of steep zigzags and switchbacks until you max out at almost 11,000 feet. Here you're greeted with a settlement called Top of the World, a combination store, motel, and gas station. Descending to the Beartooths, you are surrounded by almost 1,000 lakes that fill this vast wilderness. While the Beartooth is one of America's greatest drives, it also offers plenty of opportunity for getting out of the car. Trailheads line the entire route. Most short-day hikes or extended backpack trails head north from the highway toward the Absaroka Beartooth Wilderness. South of the road lay the Beartooth Loop National Recreation Trail, a 15 to 20-mile circuit past the original site of Camp Sawtooth, an exclusive retreat built during the 1920s. 42 miles from Red Lodge, Clay Butte looms on the horizon. A dirt road leads a couple of miles to a now dormant fire tower on top of the butte. The views here are the most spectacular to the west, where the pyramid of Pilot Peak and the jagged edge of Index Peak stand starkly against the sky. Heading for Cook City, the Beartooth passes Highway 296 turnoff. This is Chief Joseph's scenic highway, part of the trail the Nez Perce followed in an attempt to escape a pursuing U.S. Army in 1877. 64 miles from Red Lodge, after crossing back into Montana's Big Sky country, the Beartooth enters Cook City. Originally a gold mining camp, Cook City is now the northeastern gateway to Yellowstone National Park.